started slacking up, started getting back into the obesity. You know, I wouldn't been, yeah, I was fucking obese. All right. Welcome to Mike Versus Carbs. I am Mike, Big Brother Mike, Mr. Mike, if you will. My journey started back in early 2011. Times were not good for me at that point. Dealing with a lot of stress. I'll go into more detail about that on another video, but I was really going through a lot and was not taking care of myself. Basically drinking beers and eating pizza almost every day. Going through a lot emotionally, financially. It was a really fucked up time. I'm pretty sure we were still in a recession at that point. Maybe we were coming out of it, but the recession had just kicked my ass. So I had ballooned up to, I was over 290 pounds. I don't think I ever hit 300. Maybe I did. I didn't know about it, but I could just tell my body was just not, I was going through, like I said, with all the stress and everything I was going through, my body was just signs of just breaking down, really. really was bad. Yeah, fucking, I was going to say. I got to the point where I just was feeling sluggish all the time, and I was actually peeing out foam at one point. And I said, man, if I'm still feeling like this for the next couple of days, I'm going to go check myself in, went and checked myself to the clinic. And it said my blood sugar was over 900. No shit. And so basically, they were saying I was a walking time bomb. Damn. Actually kept me in the hospital. I definitely stayed overnight. I might have been there for a couple of days, if not more, pumping fluids in me. That's when I was diagnosed with diabetes, type 2 diabetes. And so I'm pretty sure I was a diabetic a lot longer than that, but that's when I was diagnosed. So following that, followed up with my doctor, and in the hospital, they told me that I would always be on insulin, right? And that bothered me. I knew that was not a good thing. And I'm going to try not to make this too long, because I should have wrote down my little bullet points or something so I can remember. So if you see me looking away, that's how I'm trying to recall a lot of the details. But I'm going to try to just keep this short for you. So, like I said, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. They put me on insulin, followed up with my doctor. And, I don't know if they still do this today, but they basically was teaching you how to manage your diabetes. And I was like, nah, how do I get off the insulin? How do I get out of this? And like, again, a nurse had already told me, oh, you're going to always be on insulin. You're going to always be diabetic, which I agree with always being diabetic, but that don't mean that you always will have to be on medications. I don't care what they say. And so, following up with my doctor, he was on that same bullshit, but I was like, no, how do I get off of it? He said, well, the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to lose the weight. You're going to have to, you have to eat better, lose weight. So I did that because I already pretty much knew, I shouldn't say this, but fuck it. To me, that was a death sentence, to me. And the reason I say that is because I've known people who were diabetics and it didn't go well for them. And also, too, I had sold life insurance at one point. Whenever somebody was diabetic, that was a red flag for us. They still can get insurance, but man, you're going to pay some hellified rates. So I want to know how can I get off the insulin and all that. So he said you got to, lose the weight, change your diet. So that's what I started doing, man. Started eating better. I went to a diabetic, it's like a week-long informational course, to teach people about diabetes and how to deal with it, basically how to manage it. Again, how to manage it. And so I went through that, learning what types of foods to eat and all that type of stuff. Again, they teach you how to manage it. But so I'm following that, started exercising, and over the course of the next 4 or 5 months or so, I did good enough to where my doctor, he reluctantly took me off the insulin. My weight probably got down to about 260, 265 at that point. Ended up moving to a whole other state and found some work right away, which was good for me. So things were looking better financially. Ended up coming to Indianapolis. I'm from Nap. Well, I'm from Michigan, but I'm in Nap right now. So I started going to the gym on a regular basis. Started riding my bike and all that stuff, eating better, but still not quite getting where I want to. Looking good, feeling good, but still a little bit heavier than I wanted to be. And kept doing my research on diabetes and trying to reverse diabetes and all of that. And what I ended up finding out was a low carb diet worked really good for me. So started going low carb, started seeing better results. And eventually I started substituting. Well, I started going for walks. And I was going to the gym and going for walks. But what I found out is once I incorporated the walking, my body, damn, just realized I ain't even looking at the camera at all for most of this, because I'm trying to remember, so I apologize. But what I found out was walking, my body responded better to walking than just going to the gym. So I got to the point to where if I didn't have time to do both, I would opt for the walking instead of going to the gym. And then the weight really started coming off. And I wasn't even really running. This is just walking. Trying to do some brisk walks, trying to keep my heart rate up, and even to like right now, I have the type of job where I'm on my feet all day anyway, walking and standing all day. And so that's really good for me. Now, what I found out is that you still have to eat right. When you first start getting into a workout routine, whether it's the gym or your cardio, your body responds right away. You'll start losing weight and stuff right away. But then your body adapts and adjusts to what you're doing. So you still have to watch what you eat. And that's when I started getting into fasting. Started doing my research on fasting, started doing my research on intermittent fasting, and then on extended fast. Probably within a year of being diagnosed with diabetes and being just up under 300 pounds, probably within a year, I really wasn't keeping track like I wish I should have. But eventually, definitely within the year, probably sooner than that, I got down to like 220, 230s and all that. And right before I started recording these videos, I was maintaining my 220 with no problem. Today, I'm like 233. I think I was like 232 this morning. And the reason I'm up in the 230s is so, as I explained in the previous video, I'm not going to just tell you guys how I lost weight. I'm actually going to show you how I lose that type of weight. Like I just stated, I said it took me about a year to go from 290, 220. Nowadays, it don't take that long at all. Easily lose a pound a day, easily lose maybe 2 pounds a day, but that's not just the diet, that's combined with the exercise and monitoring my weight daily, and it's the psychological, that's what you need. So anybody who's struggling, especially on a low carb diet, if you're struggling and somebody don't work, I've seen some motherfuckers say, oh, it don't work. It works. It works. It's just like if you watch Dr. Now, when you don't eat, you lose weight, so it's just about discipline. So for me, weighing myself daily, knowing where I'm at, it helps me make better decisions throughout the day, even when I'm feeling weak and all that. And just knowing where I'm at, knowing what my goal is, it helps me make better decisions every day. Oh, I also have experimented with going on extended fast. Now, extended fast is not for everybody. There are benefits, and then there are, concerns. As always, what I'm telling you guys is something, are things that I've done, on my own. I've talked to my doctor and got the advice. Sometimes I follow the advice. Sometimes I went out on my own. But that wasn't just me just saying, all the hell with it, I'm just going to try this. No, that was after intense study. I really studied low carb diets. I really studied fasting. You know what I mean? Hell, I even studied the benefits of walking. So anything that you hear me talking about doing, if you're going to try anything, make sure you discuss it with your medical professional. Gotta say that. Don't be talking about, watching Mike Versus Carbs, he told me to do this, and now I'm saying, no. Anything that you do, make sure you discuss it with your medical professionals and make your decisions based on that. And also do your research. You know what I mean? But for me, discussed it with my own doctor, did my own research, and then I made decisions. A lot of information out there. I don't know if it's just the medical industry trying to keep people hooked on their medications, want to keep that money coming into them. Oops. Or if it's just that people are telling you things that they've learned years ago and nobody's bothering to update the information. But a lot of the stuff is either outdated or it's part of a hustle. I don't know. Here's what I do know. I was told I would always be on insulin. That was not true. I was told, I was advised against fasting before I first did it, but when I did my extended fast, it actually not only burnt the weight, burnt the fat off, fat just melted off. My numbers, my health numbers, all that stuff improved. Everything improved. So like I say, my journey is this. Got up to about 290 something, right up under 300 pounds, going through a lot of stress, wasn't eating right, wasn't taking care of myself, got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, knew that was a sign, did what I had to do, and eventually got down in weight. This was like a really condensed version of my journey. On other videos that I'll be putting out real soon, I'm going to go into more details on some of the things I was going to, some of the how my illness affected my body in other ways, and how I reversed my diabetes. The point to, and there's another thing too, talking about willpower too. Got so easy, got so good that I got too comfortable. Ended up slipping back, going from being in the diabetic stage to going to pre-diabetic stage. When I should have been out of the diabetic stage, I ended up back in the pre-diabetic stage and back in the diabetic stage, and and so that's the thing that a lot of us struggle with. But like I said, I never got that bad, but when it did get bad, it's because I got too comfortable and I stopped doing the things that got me there. But now, on a daily basis, I do the things that I need to do. So even if I feel like, okay, I'm doing good, I might can, have a little cheat day, I might can reward myself, I know where I'm at. And you gotta always know where your numbers are at. That's the only way to do it. If you're serious about getting the weight off and keeping it off, you gotta always know where your numbers are. And also too, if you are to the point to where you're just not overweight, you got a disease like type 2 diabetes, you got heart disease, all this type of stuff. And now you got things going on with your liver, you got things going on with your kidneys. Now it's not just about, trying to look good, not just trying to feel better. It's about living longer. It's about your life. It's about saving your life, or it's about extending your life. It could be any of all of those things. So I think I might have said enough about my journey. Let me make sure I'm gonna recap. Got too heavy, got diagnosed with diabetes, got educated, did my own research, got more educated, started exercising, started eating better, going to the gym, started walking, weight's coming down, diabetes numbers is getting better. Some of the other things other issues started getting better. Got to the point where I was not just feeling good, I was looking good. Then I kind of started thinking, I'm good now. Started slacking up, started getting back into the obesity. I was fucking obese. Started getting to the overweight, and my diabetes, wasn't really taking care of myself. Getting, going back for an annual, seeing my numbers, thinking like, I'm fucking up. Let me get back on. And like I said, right now, I was about still about 230s this morning. I'm gonna show you guys how I lose the weight through low carb, through fasting. I'm gonna show you how I do it. I'm gonna show you my numbers every day, and I'm gonna show you what I'm eating. And if I don't eat, then I'm gonna let you know I didn't eat. But normally when I'm fasting like that, I'll drink water. I'll drink an unsweetened tea. Unsweetened tea. Either something I made myself, or if I buy from the store, it's only the kind that's got maybe 2 or at the most 3 ingredients: water, tea, and sometimes they'll have citric acid to preserve it, or to help preserve it or something like that. But no more than that. Anything else is just too much. Tea, water, and citric acid, or just tea and water. If you're buying something from the store that's pre-bottled, all the rest of them, nah, I don't think so. Also, too, I'm going to be talking about artificial sweeteners as in the coming up videos. Right now, maybe just stevia is the only one I feel comfortable with, because they say like some of the artificial sweeteners trigger your body to like start storing more fat, and I think that's what the xylitol, if I'm saying it right, and another something about sugar alcohols, sucralose and aspartame. Some say it's good, some say it's bad. Research, just all older research and newer research, they're conflicting. But the only one that seems to be universally accepted as being cool for diabetics right now is stevia. And even then, I always say, well, look, treat your artificial sweeteners like a person treats alcohol, in moderation, I guess. I've gotten to the point where I've got used to drinking unsweetened green tea. Tastes like crap. It's an acquired taste like beer. Nobody drinks beer for the first time and be like, this is good. No, it tastes like shit. But we like the effects of beer. So that's why you're going to have to get to that point to where something like green tea, you don't really like it, but you like the effects of it, what it does for your body health-wise. And so what I eat, you want to get you some go-to meals. If you work a lot like I do, sometimes you don't feel like coming home and cooking, or you don't feel like coming home and prepping you a nice big salad or whatever like that. There's cheap meals. There's some things that I buy that are prepared, which is always not advised, for health reasons. But there's some things that's low carb, high protein, and that's supposedly healthier. And so, it's either that or you're going to go grab you a burger or a sandwich. Just like the same way we'll probably go to a burger joint and get the same meal every day, almost every day. It's just a comfort thing. It's cheap, it's comfortable, it's convenient. You can do that with setting up a healthy food routine or a healthy menu, something that you can come home and just pop in the microwave real quick. And maybe it's not as healthy as you chopping up some fresh vegetables and cooking your own meat, but it's healthier than going and getting you some burgers or some pizza and so on, all that other stuff that is leading to you not being healthy. So I think I'm gonna stop this right here. Again, I'm Mr. Mike. No, I'm your big brother, Mike. Mr. Mike, if you will. Appreciate you watching, and as always, take care.